Hello and welcome to G Fun Facts Online, the show that dives deep into the amazing science and technology shaping our world. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most powerful, yet often invisible forces driving modern innovation. What do the life-saving COVID-19 vaccines, the processors in our smartphones, and the development of green energy all have in common? They are all born from a powerful alliance, a confluence of genius between two worlds that were once seen as completely separate, the university research lab and the corporate boardroom. Today, we're exploring how these industry-academia partnerships are forging the future. For centuries, we had this image of the ivory tower, a place of pure, abstract knowledge, completely separate from the bustling, profit-driven world of business. But in the 21st century, that wall has crumbled. The pace of change is so fast, and the problems we face are so complex that neither world can succeed alone. They need each other. This isn't just about a company writing a check to a university. It's a deep, symbiotic relationship that's creating a virtuous cycle of benefits, solving problems that were once thought unsolvable, and building the very foundation of our future economy. So let's start with the why. What's in it for them? For industry, partnering with a university is like getting a direct pipeline to the future. In today's hyper-competitive market, if you're not innovating, you're falling behind. Universities are hubs of pure, curiosity-driven research. They are fountains of new ideas and next-generation technologies. For a company, tapping into this can dramatically cut the time and cost of their own research and development. In fact, a study in the U.S. biotech sector showed that for every dollar a company invested in university research, it generated 4 times as many patent applications. Think about that. It's a massive return on innovation. For many smaller companies, maintaining a huge, expensive in-house R&D department is simply impossible. By collaborating with a university research group, they essentially get a part-time, on-demand team of brilliant scientists with access to state-of-the-art labs, all without the full-time cost. And perhaps most importantly, it's about talent. These partnerships are like an extended job interview with the brightest young minds. When students work on industry projects or do internships, companies get to identify, train, and recruit top talent who already understand their challenges and work culture. It's the ultimate talent pipeline. Now, what about the other side of the equation? What do universities get out of this? For academia, these collaborations are a bridge from theory to reality. First, there's the funding. As government research funding becomes more competitive, industry partnerships are a crucial source of money that allows universities to expand their research, buy new equipment, and tackle really ambitious scientific questions. But it's about more than just money. It's about impact. It's the chance for researchers to see their theoretical work become a real-world product or service that helps people. This can be anything from a life-saving drug to a sustainable energy technology that helps fight climate change. This also transforms the educational experience. When students work on real problems from real companies, their learning comes alive. Theory is no longer just in a textbook. It's a tool they use to solve an actual challenge. This kind of hands-on, experiential learning makes them incredibly valuable to employers when they graduate. They leave university not just with a degree, but with practical experience, a professional network, and a huge competitive advantage in the job market. But if this partnership is such a perfect match, why isn't it happening everywhere, all the time? Well, like any great relationship, it's complicated. The path to a successful collaboration is often filled with challenges, primarily because industry and academia operate in fundamentally different worlds. First, there's the clash of cultures and timelines. Universities often think in terms of years or even decades, focusing on long-term, exploratory research. The goal is to expand human knowledge and publish their findings for everyone to see. Industry, on the other hand, usually operates on much shorter timelines, driven by quarterly reports, profitability, and getting a product to market before a competitor does. This difference in pace and priorities can cause a lot of friction. Then there's the intellectual property conundrum. This is one of the biggest hurdles. Who owns the billion-dollar idea that comes out of a joint project? Universities are built on the principle of sharing knowledge openly through publication. But companies need to protect that same knowledge as a trade secret to maintain their competitive edge. Finding a fair agreement that allows for academic freedom while also protecting commercial interests is a delicate balancing act that requires a lot of trust and careful negotiation. And of course, there are the more mundane but very real challenges of communication gaps and bureaucracy. The specialized language of academia and business can be so different it's like they're speaking two different languages. And navigating the administrative hurdles and legal paperwork of both a large corporation and a large university can be slow and frustrating, sometimes stifling the very innovation they're trying to foster. So how do they bridge this chasm? It turns out there's no single magic formula. Instead, there's a whole spectrum of different partnership models, ranging from simple interactions to deeply integrated alliances. At one end, you have simple consulting or contract research. This is where a company hires a professor or a lab for their specific expertise to solve a single, well-defined problem. It's straightforward and transactional. A step up from that is sponsored research, where a company funds a larger project at a university that aligns with its strategic goals. This allows the company to explore a new area without the full cost of doing it in-house. Then you have the student-centric models we talked about: internships, co-op programs, and capstone projects, where students tackle real industry challenges. These are fantastic for building that talent pipeline. A very common model is licensing. A university develops an innovation, its technology transfer office patents it, and then they license the rights to a company to turn it into a commercial product. But the deepest, most powerful form of collaboration is the strategic alliance. This is where industry researchers and academics work side by side, sometimes in the same building. Companies might establish research labs right on a university campus, creating innovation hubs where ideas can be exchanged freely over coffee. Pfizer's Centers for Therapeutic Innovation are a great example, placing their scientists directly into major biotech hubs to work hand in hand with academic researchers. To understand this complex ecosystem, experts have developed a concept called the triple helix model. Imagine three strands twisting together: university, industry, and government. The government isn't just a regulator. It's an active catalyst, providing funding, incentives, and policies that encourage the other two to work together. This model has even evolved into the quadruple and quintuple helix models, which add the public and the natural environment as key drivers, emphasizing that innovation must serve society and be sustainable. Let's look at some real-world examples where this has worked spectacularly. The most famous recent example is, of course, the Oxford-AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. This was a monumental achievement that showcased the power of university and industry collaboration in the face of a global crisis. In biotechnology, the blockbuster breast cancer drug Herceptin was the result of a joint effort between Genentech and the University of California. In Germany, the Fraunhofer Institutes are a world-renowned model of collaboration, creating a bridge between university research and industrial application. It's been shown that these institutes yield an incredible 18-fold return on investment for the German economy. It's not just about tech and medicine either. In the UK, projects have brought together creative organizations and universities to stimulate the creative economy, helping students get a behind-the-scenes look at major media companies like ITV. So what does the future hold for this powerhouse partnership? The trends are pointing towards even deeper, more essential collaborations. The rise of artificial intelligence is a huge driver. The massive datasets and computational power needed for cutting-edge AI research often live inside big tech companies. This makes collaboration with academic researchers not just useful, but absolutely essential for making progress. Then there's the coming quantum leap. Quantum computing promises to solve problems that are currently impossible for even our most powerful supercomputers. Realizing this potential will require deep collaboration between the academic physicists who understand the theory and the industry engineers who can build the machines. We're also seeing a greater focus on shared grand challenges. there's a growing demand from the public and governments for research to solve society's most pressing problems. This is pushing partnerships to tackle issues like climate change, sustainable development, and public health, just as the quintuple helix model suggests. The world's biggest challenges won't be solved by a single person, a single company, or a single university. They will be solved by a network of connected minds. In conclusion, these partnerships have moved from being a niche activity to a central pillar of the 21st century innovation ecosystem. They are the engine for economic growth, the mechanism for solving our biggest challenges, and the pathway for preparing the next generation of innovators. While building these bridges requires navigating very real differences in culture and goals, the rewards for companies, for universities, and for all of us in society are simply immeasurable. The confluence of genius is real, and it's building the world of tomorrow, today. Thanks for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online. Join us next time as we explore another fascinating corner of our world.